they literally put you into a birth canal where often you cannot see the next action. You cannot even see the next thing. You're just there. I mean, the image I could most easily describe it as is if you put a seed in the ground, if you imagine that you are that seed, you're the seed, and the seed is just growing underground like a little green shoot, and it can't see. It's in the dirt. It doesn't even know that the moment is going to come when it's going to crack the earth and show itself into the light. And so all of March was really like that, where you're really just going underground, having to trust that if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you will be shown the right actions. And I'll come back to this, but that's why I really did laugh when that thing got posted this morning. For those of you that saw it on Facebook, somebody put on the page something like, even if you don't know what you're doing, make a decision, make it now. Squirrels get hit when, if a squirrel's indecisive in the middle of the street, it gets hit by cars. And, I knew it was funny and I laughed too, but it was also that misunderstanding of what this work is, that it is nothing to do with forcing decisions from a state of panic or from avoiding action. It has nothing to do with avoiding action. When it's time to act, oh my God, will you be shown? And I tell you a couple things about that after the meditation, because I just had it happen to me. And it has nothing to do with waffling or being scared to act. It is that the inner spanda, the inner Shakti, shows you. And if you're not being shown, it's so often because it just isn't time yet. And like in March, for many people, it just wasn't time to act. Now, you might have been different. I mean, my manager, Matt, he found a new apartment, right during this cycle. And it was so clearly the obvious thing. And you don't say, no, we're still in the eclipse thing, so I'm not going to take it. Sometimes a very obvious action comes, and that's it. But for many people, especially in a culture that teaches us to fear sitting still, to fear being in the unknown, the culture sends that message over and over. You're going to lose out. You're going to miss your chance. You're going to get hit by the car like that squirrel. Oh my God, you better do something. It's like when you're in attunement, when you get quiet, which is what we're going to do in a moment, when you get quiet and you connect to that inner place of knowing, that inner authority, believe me, you will know when to act and when to wait. And, I have to say, it really reminds me in some ways of, you remember that old song? It's actually from the 60s by the Byrds, Turn, Turn, Turn. And it's really I think it's a verse from the Bible, but it's like there's a time for love, there's a time to be alone, there's a time to speak, there's a time to be quiet, there's a time to know, there's a time to not know. It's like that's actually the way the universe was created, that there is a time for everything. And learning to let the divine take the lead is learning how to allow things to happen at the right time, as opposed to, oh my God, I'm terrified, I better force a decision. Now, it's one thing if you can say, if you decide to not decide because you don't have enough clarity yet, that's a decision. That's great. Or you decide to act because the actions happen. But I have to say, so often, and I'll tell you more about this after the meditation, so often it's not an ego decision to act, You feel it through your whole body, like, yes, take the apartment, or yes, this is the right job, or, you feel that leap. And it's not a should. So when you get that kind of message, like, you just have to decide, you just have to do it, it's a should very often. And that is the message of the culture. The culture is always like, oh my God, you should do something. Well, if you do nothing, you're going to get nothing. I remember, growing up hearing stuff like that. If you do nothing, you're going to get nothing. And that is actually not true. Sometimes the right action is just waiting. Sometimes the right action is kicking butt. Sometimes the right action is going for it full force. But I will tell you, when it is the right action, you're not throwing yourself against an electrical fence that's repelling you. You're not trying to smash down a door that has locked you out. Something happens. When it's the right action, you get the divine invitation. You get the Shakti's invitation. And I'll talk more about that in a minute after we meditate. So we get just connected to that inner place right now. Focusing on your breath. Breathing in, calming, healing energy. And breathing out any tension, any worry, any fear, anything that wants to go. You can just feel yourself relax. Just relaxing as you breathe, your shoulders drop, your stomach relaxes, your throat relaxes. You can even feel your eyes relaxing in their sockets. Your mouth relaxes. And you can feel the presence in your heart of this inner divine. This calm, quiet stillness inside. This peaceful place. It's always waiting for you to return to it. You may see an image of that inner divine. It may just be a feeling, maybe a color. However you touch that spot of the still, silent knower, it's the inner knower, the inner authority. And just feel as you tap that, you can trust that inner knower. You can trust it. It will grow stronger as you tap it. It will start to lead you. It will start to show you from the inside out when to act and when to wait. You don't have to listen to other people's fears. The inner knower wherever you are, you have her or him. The inner knower will show you all the right actions at the right time. Will open doors when they need, will close doors when they need. You may hear a word or two from that inner divine right now. And if you have a specific problem, you can offer that right now to that inner knower and just ask. You may get one word back of what to do. And then as you're ready, just hold that energy with you, feeling that presence of the inner divine, always available. And you can slowly come back out. Just bringing that energy with you, knowing that the inner knower always knows. Even if the message is to wait or to go slow, it always knows.